Go.
Hi guys, we're going to be doing a small-scale competent cell prep today, and we're going to be doing 9 of them, so I'd call this kind of a medium throughput, small-scale competent cell prep. First thing you want to do is get a little ice bath, and I basically put some ice in there and mix it up with some water. So, because we're doing a mid-scale, I'm going to be doing this in a 24-well block. Generally, if you're going to do 1 or 2, you might just use a little test tube like this, and you just might do 1 of them and transfer it to an epi tube. But the liquid handling steps I'm going to show you are very generalizable. So what I've started with is a 24-well block, and I put 3 milliliters of LB with the antibiotics that my cells already have, and then I reseeded 1 to 25 dilution of overnight culture, and those have been growing for 1 hour. So we're going to go get those. So here's our block, and we have 9 samples. We have A6, E5, F9, and each one has 3 wells. So E times 3 is 9. And like I said, I just did a 1 to 25 dilution from those overnight samples into these. So this is fresh LB, and we're just going to spin this down. So I'm actually going to take off this entire block, or this entire cover. I'm going to put a new one on. That one looked a little bit wet. First thing I want to do is, these cells are growing and they're dividing and they're in a good competent state. So I kind of want to chill them and freeze them, lock them into this competent state. So I'm just going to put my block into this little ice bath and swish it around a little bit. I want to drop that temperature as quickly as I can. And this works a little bit better if you have a test tube or if you're working with epi tubes, because the water can actually get around the entire thing. Here we only have 1 surface to work with, which is that bottom surface. But if you just let it chill in the ice bath for a little bit, that's usually good enough. So while that's cooling down, we're going to go over to the centrifuge, and we're going to change our rotor. So as always, we've got to change our rotor. Right now we have a TA10, I believe. That won't fit the block. So I'm going to unscrew that rotor. Pull it up. And pop in the rotor that's designed for the blocks. And then we just want to make sure that we have the right rotor number on here. So that's going to be S5700. The rotor is S5700, enter. And then time, not 45 minutes. Somebody did a really long spin here. We just want about 3 minutes. And then temperature is going to be set to 4. I should have had this closed, so it would have been chilling, but it'll be okay. RPM is going to be 5400. So enter, and then if I actually want this thing to chill, as soon as I close it, the refrigeration will turn right on. So this is good to go. All we got to do is measure our block, and we can start our spin. So by this time our block is nice and cool. You can see that we have a little bit of condensation on top, so that's telling us it's cooler. And we're going to take our block up, drain some of the water that may have come along for the ride. Block in this. Oh boy, let's tear this thing. And weigh. That's a 227.8. So I'm gonna bump this up a little bit. So I have a little bit of water here for the rough. Okay, so now that we're close, I'm actually gonna go back to my original block because there's this water that's going to throw off our balance. And I'm going to weigh it one more time. So we have 227.5, so about the same. And now I'm actually going to do the final measurement on here. So just a couple more grams. 227.5, perfect. And we're ready to spin. So open the door, cool down about a degree or two, that'll work, and pop our block in. Hit start, and we're going to spin down our cells. We're going to see a very tiny pellet on the reseeded culture, and I've left in the original overnight so we can kind of compare what the pellets look like. And then when this is done, we'll be right back and we'll take a look at the rest of the procedure.